So we're good to go whenever you guys are. So do you want to set off first and be on the way, or?
Well, I'll probably introduce me to
Yeah.
you now.
Can you yell as well then?
We're going to make the journey to the school, and we would love to hear more from you, about what it is you guys are doing in Cambodia. What brought you to Cambodia in the beginning?
I was born in a family that my father is a pastor, so we talk about the church in Cambodia, the Vietnamese church. No one play instrument, so I'm graduated from music college. So then I decided to come to Cambodia for 6 months, volunteer, teach music for the young people in the church. That's why I first came.
And you've been here now for how long?
6 months turned to 12 years now.
12 years, 2 kids, 3 schools. Can you tell us what happened?
My plan is only stay here for 6 months, but then during that time, I have some time on Sunday to commit myself to one church, and I play music there. But I recognize that many kids is playing around, making noise in front of a church. So I asked the pastor, why don't we have a Sunday school? That's why the pastor said, no, I'm doing it. So I said, okay, I will try. And then that's why I teaching the kids more in Sunday school. But as I teach them, I know more about Vietnamese in Cambodia. Before I didn't really pay much attention because all my focus is teaching them music. But when I teaching them, I recognize they cannot read Vietnamese or Cambodian. I ask them, why don't they go to school? They say, I don't know, my parents don't send me to school. And then I asked around, so I knew that they poor, and also they don't have legal document. They cannot go to school. And but I didn't know that much until one of a girl at my Sunday school. 5 months I teaching her. She was really into it. She always there. But 2 weeks before I go, I didn't see her go to church anymore. And then I asked the pastor about her, and I found out that the girl that I've been asking for was sold to prostitution 1 week ago. So I was really shocked to know because she is only 12 years old, really skinny, and that was a turning point for me because I born in a family really poor as well, but my parents would never do it to me. But this girl was sold to the prostitution by her mom because of the need of the money. So I asked them, what can I do to help this girl? Maybe we have report to police. They said you cannot report to police. Police will not do anything because they are considered illegal here. And I asked, I have some money, can we rescue her, buy the brothel and buy her out? And the pastor told me, how many girls can you help? Because 90% of Vietnamese will sell their daughter to prostitution. And how many times can you save them? Because they will sell them for first time for virginity, and then second time and third time. That was painful to listen. And I couldn't imagine how can I handle it. And but as I pray and ask God, what can I do? He gave me the scripture that let a little children come to me, for the kingdom of God belongs to such and things. And I recognize that I cannot give them or offer them anything better than what I have with Jesus. So that sound religious to you, but that is true. And that's the only thing I offer to them. And as 12 years past, I can see that the kids have so much hope and their joy, they have peace, they have love, and all we do is through Jesus now. So then I see that we have to treat the root of the problem. I can see the problem is the kids is uneducated. They didn't have any dream for the future. They didn't have anything that can think better for them. So I decided to go to the village, stay there with them, bring them to school, and tell them that I will take care of the kids. So I teach from 3 years old up to 16 years old now. So as long as they send the children to us, we're teaching them and help them to dream for the future, for the better future is waiting for their children and grandchildren.
Now, I don't know what people think about missionaries, but when I think about missionaries, often they're white people going into the areas of brown people and trying to change their way of life. You guys go against the grain. You're both, well, Charles is not even 30, I's in her 30s, you've got 2 kids. What's it like being away from your friends and family in your countries?
Well, one thing is we are Christians, and it's not about, like you said, what country are you from, what color is your skin. It's about who you believe in. And so, as Christians, we want to follow in what He says. And He calls us to go to these places and help these people. And so that's one of the big pushes for us. We want to give up what we have because we know that there's so many people that have so much less than we do. And that's why we come out to countries like this. And it's truly a joy and a blessing to be here. We really enjoy being among the people. It's true that we are younger. A lot of people will mention that, but what does age have to do with helping people? It doesn't have a limit to say, these kids will even help each other, and it's just sad to think that people think you have to be older or more mature or, I guess, more experienced to be able to help people.
What's it been like raising or even having children in Cambodia?
I just remember talking to some people about it. We knew that we were going to have a kid. We always wanted one, and they were telling me, don't do it on the mission field. That was one of the things they told me right away, is don't have a child in the mission field right away. And we didn't like that. we knew that we wanted to have kids, and she really wanted to have it soon, so we were just prepared for the challenge. And so with our first kid, Jetlin, he's actually very easy. And that's why it was just a blessing to us, because we knew that we'd be very busy, we'd have a lot of work, and we knew that children would be a lot of work. So it helped us to be able to raise our child at the same time as doing the work here. But another blessing is just because it's a school, there's kids everywhere. So he always has someone to play with, and the teachers really love our kids, and they love kids in general. They like to take care of them, so we have built-in babysitters.
Vietnamese otherwise find it very difficult to go to school because of their status.
Yes.
So what do you think this school can bring to kids who don't even have papers? Like, what's the point of going to school like?
Yeah. Right away, a lot of them are not able to attend the schools that are here, that are available, because they either don't have enough money or they get bullied when they're in school. And then if you don't have documents, you can't get to a certain level. And so they have to drop out anyway. And our purpose is to give them these opportunities that they don't get usually, and a place that accepts them. Because a lot of these schools, they're not being accepted, they're not considered one of the students. And so a place that really cares for them, really accepts them, wishes for them to grow and have a better future. One thing that we also focus on is skills. We know that many of them will not be able to get normal jobs just because of their situation, because of no documentation. But we thought this is not a reason for them not to be able to provide for their families, to be able to labor. And so we actually decided, how can we connect these students who are learning in the school to the job force? Everyone will say, oh, you're doing these things, but at a certain age, they're going to leave. So what are you going to do? And because my background is in business, I had to think through, how can we connect these two, the workforce and education? And so we just thought about it, we prayed about it, and as we were doing that, we had somebody find out about the school and say, I want to come work there, and we found out she has 9 years experience doing this thing called paper art. And this was like completely new to me. It's very unique, very cool idea, and she did it for 9 years as a job. And we asked her, can you help these kids learn how to do this for a job, a living? And she said, I've been praying about that. So it was pretty amazing. So she decided to teach them. They were learning so quickly, and some of these students who just did not pay attention in class would be so focused on getting this art
Wow.
done and beautiful. Like they actually wanted to make it really well, and it started to take off. We took it to my hometown, my church, and they loved it. We took it to one of the supporters in Norway. They really loved it. And so
these guys, by making the paper art, they're earning money because they're selling these artworks.
yeah, because we were stuck in a predicament where they can't legally be registered to work in a business, and so we thought this is a volunteer school, so why not have just something they can do and then use it for fundraising to help their families. And so they actually really enjoy it. It's not so difficult for them, and it's really just a craft, but it's just really beautiful. And so that's something that stood out. And so we want to be able to duplicate this in many different areas with many different kids and families and communities. And that's why it has continued.
Also, because not every kids have a gifted in craft, you know, they do current art. They need to have the the gifted of seeing the colors and mixes together and stuff like that. So we give them choices to make, what job you wanted. So we also have an option for kids who have a gift to teach too. So we have about 6 kids now doing the teaching. Grow up in the school, and now they become a teacher. So we train them, and they become a kindergarten teacher, teaching math, Vietnamese, music, English. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We have basically now we provide 3 jobs for the kids. It's teaching, paper art, and tailor.
Lúc đó 17 tuổi là Thanh đi học ở ngoài một cái chỗ gọi là trường nhờ có tiếp tục may mới có nhiều kinh nghiệm để mà hôm nay may tốt về. Đa số là may đồ khách cho Việt kiều ở nước ngoài về thì nhiều, rất thành công. Bà Thanh đã một mình nuôi con 10 mấy năm rồi. Lúc mà chia tay đó là một mình nuôi con bằng nghề may này. 3 thằng con trai, 4 đứa cháu nội. Cái này phải nói là nếu mà Chúa muốn thì Chúa muốn bà Thanh ở luôn, bà Thanh sẽ ở luôn. Còn nếu mà Chúa muốn bà Thanh đi, bà Thanh sẽ đi. Thì cuộc sống á, là phải mỗi tháng phải đóng tiền nhà, nên bà Thanh không có đi được. Đi thì không có ai đóng tiền nhà cho mình. Nhưng mà cái năm 2017 đó, thì Chúa cho bà Thanh may được đồ có lễ đấy cho tổng liên hội đó. Cho nên bà Thanh có tiền đóng tiền nhà 2 năm. Và bà Thanh nghĩ rằng bây giờ bà Thanh không phải lo cái chuyện tiền nhà nữa đó, nên bà Thanh đi qua đây để làm hầu việc Chúa, vì Chúa cho bà Thanh có cái cơ hội đó, nên bà Thanh đi vậy thôi. Nếu nó chịu học thích nghề thì nó sẽ sống một cách thoải mái. Bởi vì sao? Bà Thanh đã nuôi con bà Thanh từ lúc mà mới sinh ra cho đến khi vào đại học, cho đến lấy vợ, tất cả bằng một cái may mắn. Nó giống như một người bạn tri kỷ đó, bởi vì nó đem lại cái lợi ích cho bà Thanh. Có tiền, hãy người vô máy là có tiền.
I honestly thought, with my background, I thought doing the sewing would be very difficult, very expensive to start because of the machines, and then just hard labor. And then we found a lady in her dad's church who has done it for 40 years. And we found out is not more of she's not a mass producer, but more of like a custom designer. And we thought, whoa, I didn't even think of that. That's kind of what they do. They do mass production here. That's like, let's see what she can do. And so she said, I really want to come to Cambodia. I want to live here the rest of my life and be able to serve God here and help the ministry and the school. So she came, and we saw some of her designs, and it was incredible. And the students that have joined the class to learn from her were just amazed by what she can do, and then they start to realize I could do that too. When she teaches me, I can do these things too. And so we already have our first order, which is amazing, as a church in Norway to have a shirts for them. But we also have people contacting us about, oh, well, can you do custom design dresses and all these options that we can do. And I realized this is different than what is normal. And that's just like the so try to get as many as you can. This is more of like, let's make something special, and that way they can really appreciate what they've done, like the accomplishment, but also people would have a greater demand for it, and the margins would also be able to help their families and their situation a lot better.
How do you pay for all of this? Because you've already said this is a volunteer school. These kids are not paying to go to school. You've been able to expand. How do you fund all this?
Many Christians that we know are supporting these kids. They're supporting the school, and that's why we're able to give them this education. And without that, we would have a very difficult time. But we're just thankful that we can provide them things that they wouldn't be able to get normally. And we're not trying to change this whole legal system or this country. It's difficult to do these things, but at the moment we're really just trying to focus on being able to give them an alternative to what they have now. We knew that there was roadblocks for them to actually get into the workforce or get an education, and so that is what we want to be, is an alternative to that. If they don't have an option over there, we want to be available for them. We want to be accepting of them, and many people are in that same boat. We're not in it to somehow gain or to make money from it. We want to help their kids and their families, and we want to help them as well, the community. And then one unfortunate thing that we experience is once they get to an age, the students get to an age of working, the parents will typically take them back out. But we had to think again, what can we do? And this whole idea of providing jobs and opportunities and skills, they started to see that there is an actual future in this, that they can leave their kids in here and they can actually learn skills and grow in their ability to be able to provide for families. When they started to see them doing this art, they were amazed. We have a story of one of the longest running kids here, one of the students that have been here the longest. Her parents saw her take home some art, and the dad just was so proud and bought a table for her, bought a new light, and so we're just thankful for that. And as it continued, more and more more and more parents would come to the meetings. Before that, I think there was maybe 7 moms would show up. And then once they started to get serious and they started to see that there was people that actually want to help them in the school, they would all come. And there was the last parent meeting, I believe there was around 80 parents, and a lot of them were actually the dads as well.
A SARS-like virus
The World Health Organization has officially called it COVID-19.
reached the United States. Besides the US, cases have also been reported in South Korea, Japan, and in Thailand.
No new cases of COVID-19 have been recorded in Cambodia.
I'm talking to T and I. The last time we had a conversation was in 2019, where we made the film in Cambodia at the school. It's 2022. The world has gone through so much change with coronavirus. In Cambodia, we know that there's been local changes on the ground. So the 2021 eviction has really highlighted just how important the work of the school is and was, because this was a population that you served for over 10 years. And then in such a short space of time, these communities' houses are being dismantled, they're being evicted, they have to leave their homes. I think when we had the cameras and we saw everything amazing and we were talking about statelessness and the history of these children, sometimes when we were recording that, you would forget this was a stateless community or a community under threat. Can you tell me what the school looks like now, post-COVID and post-eviction?
We decided to come to America for our friend's wedding. And then we just here for 2 weeks. We know the COVID around, but it's not like pandemic or anything. So we plan to, so that is the beginning of March. So we plan to stay 1 month and come back to Cambodia. But like 2 weeks in March, everything shut down, like every border shut down. And at that time, I quite panicking, like we gonna get back. So wherever we turn to, like go to, fly to Thailand, border closed, go to Myanmar, border closed. I mean, everywhere. So yeah, we stuck here in America, but all good by the grace of God.
So what happened to the school when you were in America then? You're stranded. You can't get back to the organization that you've built, grown and love. And then you have hundreds of children attending the school, but presumably they're also dealing with COVID, no?
Yeah, lots of things happened. During that time, the government also kicked them out of the river. They're not allowed them to stay in the river and raising fish and catching fish anymore. So it's even difficult, more difficult. So it's in June 2021. And then there's a time that they give 7 days notice. So you have to leave the river immediately. And they cut out the house, or they just bring the house to the middle of river and sunk it. Many families lost everything. And in the beginning, like they asked for like, can you give me 6 months? Like, because the fish under, because normally Vietnamese people will raise their fish under their house, but no, they just give 7 days and that's it. So it's really, I have a hard time, but they cannot do anything. They have to comply. Yeah, it's really, really sad. So when COVID hits, we have to close everything, and older kids now have to look for a job, and they cannot come back to school anymore. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. When COVID kind of calmed down and Cambodia started to open a school in November last year. So we wait for some time, but also like those staff that remain in Cambodia that I trained for that the last 2 years, they feel like a burden of opening the school again. And we opened up the school in January for only 2 classes, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. About 45 kids come to school. But these 2 staff, they really passionate about teaching their kids, and I'm glad to see that they are local and they still stick with the work. And yeah, so that is a present of the school right now. Start back up slowly. In 2012, when I opened the school, I also start with 45 kids. So it's like beginning, it's a new beginning, and we're excited about that.